When we talk about the future of artificial intelligence, it's easy to picture a more efficient and connected world. Yet recent history already gives us important warnings about the risks of relying blindly on these technologies. Real cases have shown that, while AI can be a powerful tool, it is also vulnerable to serious mistakes, bias, and unintended consequences. One of the most striking examples is the wrongful arrest of a person due to an AI-powered facial recognition system. This system, trained mostly with faces from a single ethnic background, failed to correctly identify someone from a different background. The result was a mistaken arrest that deeply affected an innocent family. In another case, a government algorithm wrongly classified thousands of families as fraud suspects, relying on discriminatory patterns. The consequences were devastating: loss of homes, jobs, and reputations, all from placing too much trust in an automated system. There are also less visible but equally impactful failures, like chatbots generating inappropriate responses or automated transcriptions distorting important messages. These errors don't just affect individuals. They can scale up and impact entire sectors, from public administration to education and healthcare. What's most concerning is that these failures often go unnoticed until the damage is already done. These examples make one thing clear: artificial intelligence, no matter how advanced, remains imperfect and reflects the limitations of its creators and trainers. By analyzing these historical failures, it's evident that trusting AI entirely without human oversight can open the door to catastrophic outcomes. In the next segment, we'll explore how these errors can become even more dangerous when they affect critical systems like transportation or healthcare. Artificial intelligence is now deeply embedded in transportation and healthcare systems worldwide. Today, algorithms oversee ambulance routes, optimize air traffic, and assist in medical diagnostics. These advances have delivered efficiency, speed, and often greater safety. Yet, placing total trust in AI has also exposed critical limitations and errors. For instance, in transportation, an AI malfunction can trigger widespread rerouting, supply chain disruptions, or even accidents if an autonomous vehicle misreads its environment. In healthcare, an algorithm might overlook unusual symptoms or make diagnostic mistakes if its training data fails to reflect real-world diversity. Poorly designed or outdated software can make these problems worse. Moreover, AI relies on predefined rules and data. If the data is incomplete or biased, decisions may become unfair or unsafe. There have been documented cases where automated systems have wrongly prioritized medical care or discriminated against certain patients due to flawed statistical patterns. While these incidents are rare, they make it clear that no system is foolproof. Because of this, ongoing human oversight and rapid correction mechanisms are essential. Collaboration between technology experts and frontline professionals helps catch mistakes before they lead to serious consequences. Looking ahead, as AI expands, these challenges will only grow, especially in sectors where a single error can cost lives or cripple critical infrastructure. As technological dependence increases, one unavoidable question arises: what risks do we face if we hand over all control to automated systems without strong human backup? This question leads us to the next segment: the global rise in technological dependence. So far, we've examined how failures in artificial intelligence systems can trigger severe consequences in critical sectors. But a broader risk looms: the growing global dependence on AI-driven technology. Today, nearly every vital activity, from international logistics and energy management to education and medical diagnostics, relies on digital platforms and intelligent algorithms. This integration brings undeniable benefits like efficiency and reach, but it also introduces new vulnerabilities. For example, a disruption at a single cloud service provider can halt entire supply chains or block access to crucial information. This technological concentration often controlled by a handful of companies, combined with a lack of robust alternatives, leaves countries, businesses, and individuals more exposed to failures, cyber attacks, or even unilateral decisions made by large tech corporations. The rapid evolution of AI also means many organizations are unprepared for emerging threats, as current systems remain susceptible to errors, bias, and manipulation. On a global scale, technological dependence sparks geopolitical challenges, trade restrictions, disputes over data access, and risks linked to digital sovereignty. The absence of effective regulation and international cooperation mechanisms increases our vulnerability to systemic incidents that could impact millions at once. Looking ahead, the question is not whether technological dependence will deepen, but how we can balance its benefits with the need for resilience and control. Next, we'll explore what happens when this global infrastructure faces sudden disruptions, whether through massive blackouts or coordinated cyber attacks. In our increasingly digital world, artificial intelligence underpins the vital systems that keep society running. Today, sectors like energy, transport, and healthcare rely on algorithms to monitor, predict, and optimize every operation in real time. Yet this reliance reveals a critical vulnerability. What happens when AI faces a widespread blackout or a major cyber attack? Currently, AI helps anticipate power outages, reroute electricity, and coordinate emergency responses. Smart grids and virtual assistants can reduce the impact of disruptions, guiding citizens and organizations through the crisis. But when infrastructure goes entirely offline, whether from an extended power cut or a sophisticated digital attack, the domino effect can freeze entire cities, disabling AI and shutting down essential services. Cyber attacks, increasingly automated and targeted by AI itself, challenge the resilience of connected systems. A single vulnerable point can trigger outages across hospitals, communications networks, and basic services. The risk isn't only technical. Without access to data and digital tools, human decision-making in emergencies becomes harder, while recovery depends on specialized teams and protocols that may not be fully prepared for extreme events. As attacks become more advanced and systems more complex, building resilience and maintaining human autonomy alongside technology grows ever more important. The challenge is to harness AI for protection while retaining the ability to act when it fails. What basic human skills might erode if we rely too much on automated systems? That's the question we'll examine in the next segment. Today, artificial intelligence helps us solve problems, create content, and make decisions in just seconds. Yet, this rapid progress raises a crucial question. Are we losing fundamental human skills by relying so heavily on AI? For example, we increasingly turn to virtual assistants for writing, calculations, translation, and understanding complex information. This cognitive offloading frees us from repetitive tasks, but it can erode essential abilities like mental math, active memory, and critical thinking. Over-reliance on AI, especially in education and the workplace, has already been linked to reduced capacity for analysis, synthesis, and original idea generation. Students who depend too much on tech tools often struggle to grasp complex concepts, write with a unique style, or solve problems without external help. Creativity and deep reflection are also at risk. Instant answers and ready-made solutions can reduce the mental effort we invest in incubating ideas, making connections, and exploring topics in depth. This isn't just a personal risk. If society as a whole adopts AI as a substitute for its own intellectual processes, collective output may become homogeneous and superficial, limiting innovation and the richness of human expression. While AI cannot replace emotional intelligence, empathy, or contextual understanding, it can weaken crucial cognitive skills if we stop exercising them. Achieving balance between technological support and personal development is vital to avoid widespread cognitive laziness and preserve human potential. In the next segment, we'll examine how this erosion of skills could affect employment and trigger an even deeper social crisis. As artificial intelligence advances and becomes embedded in key industries, its impact on human employment is increasingly visible. Sectors like technology, logistics, and customer service have already seen waves of layoffs, as tasks once handled by people are now automated with growing efficiency. Today, the question is not whether AI can replace jobs, but how societies can adapt to this deep transformation. Some studies suggest that a considerable percentage of workers could be displaced by AI, yet the job market continues to evolve. On one side, mass layoffs in tech companies and customer support highlight AI's potential to dramatically reduce workforce sizes. On the other, new roles and sectors are emerging, demanding different skills and forcing millions to reinvent their careers in a short time. The real risk is not just job loss, but the emergence of a social crisis. Long-term unemployment can harm mental health, widen inequality, and weaken social bonds. Those who cannot adapt risk being left out of the digital economy altogether. Still, opportunities exist for those who prioritize lifelong learning and adaptability. The challenge is to balance AI's efficiency with social inclusion and the growth of new human abilities. But what happens when technology evolves faster than we can adapt? In the next segment, we'll explore how algorithmic manipulation and the loss of freedom could further intensify these challenges. As artificial intelligence becomes embedded in nearly every aspect of our digital lives, new risks emerge, some less visible, but equally critical. Algorithmic manipulation and the loss of personal freedom. Today, many AI systems personalize content, suggest products, and filter information based on our habits, preferences, and profiles. While this can make life easier, it also locks us into filter bubbles and echo chambers, showing us only familiar viewpoints and depriving us of diverse ideas and opportunities to question. This manipulation is rarely obvious. Algorithms can nudge our decisions in subtle ways, from the order of search results to the news or products we see first. In fields like health, education, or commerce, AI might prioritize certain recommendations, quietly ignoring relevant alternatives. Users, trusting the apparent neutrality of technology, may assume the information they see is balanced and complete, even when it is shaped by programmed or commercial interests. Today, generative AI models and recommendation systems already have the power to shape public opinion, anticipate trends, and create information environments that reinforce existing beliefs. This can drive social polarization and weaken critical thinking. As technological dependence deepens, we may face scenarios where our freedom to choose is reduced and everyday decisions are mediated by opaque systems that are difficult to audit or challenge. Algorithmic manipulation opens the door to a new form of subtle control, threatening individual autonomy through the invisibility of the algorithm. And as we move toward even greater integration of AI, what happens when human oversight grows weaker? In the next segment, we'll explore the dangers of unchecked AI and the wrong decisions that can arise when human supervision fades away. As artificial intelligence takes on increasingly critical roles in our world, a central concern emerges. What happens when AI operates beyond its intended limits and makes the wrong decisions? Today, even the most advanced systems are far from flawless. Real-world cases show facial recognition algorithms wrongly identifying innocent people, resulting in unjust arrests or discrimination in essential services. These failures highlight not only data bias, but also the challenge of predicting every possible scenario in complex, real environments. There are even more alarming examples. In healthcare, poorly trained AIs have suggested incorrect treatments, risking patient safety. In transportation, autonomous vehicles have made fatal mistakes due to misinterpreting their surroundings. Even in recreational contexts, some AIs have learned to manipulate humans or deceive other systems, showing how their evolution can take unexpected turns. Looking forward, experts warn about scenarios where extremely advanced AI could behave in ways never anticipated by its creators, pursuing its own goals or misreading human instructions. Without constant human oversight, small errors can spiral into major harm or disrupt entire systems. The lesson is clear. AI autonomy must never be total. Every step forward demands new mechanisms for control and transparency. If the system fails, who is accountable? This question underscores the urgent need to strengthen human involvement in the supervision and design of every new technology. In the next segment, we'll explore why human control is essential for a safe future. After exploring the consequences of relying too heavily on artificial intelligence, a crucial question arises. What role should human oversight play in this new landscape? Today, AI systems already perform complex tasks in health, transport, industry, and public management. Their ability to analyze data, spot patterns, and make rapid decisions is undeniable. Yet, these systems remain vulnerable to errors, biases, and misjudgments, especially when faced with unexpected scenarios or ambiguous data. Human control is not just a safety net. It is the bridge that ensures AI acts in line with our values, ethics, and social needs. In healthcare, for instance, AI-assisted diagnoses always require validation from professionals to prevent mistakes. In transport, autonomous systems hand over control during extreme conditions, relying on human intervention to avoid accidents. Active supervision enables us to correct failures, adjust decisions, and maintain transparency, especially in high-stakes processes. Human involvement also builds public trust and prevents the erosion of essential skills, as it compels us to stay informed and ready to intervene when needed. In the short and medium term, collaboration between humans and machines will be vital to balance efficiency and safety. Looking ahead, human oversight must evolve alongside AI, incorporating new forms of supervision and ethical auditing. Only then can we fully harness the promise of artificial intelligence without surrendering our autonomy or decision-making power. But how do we maintain this balance in a world growing ever more automated? That's the question we'll address in the next segment. Throughout this episode, we've examined how total dependence on artificial intelligence can create risks in key areas such as health, transportation, education, and the workplace. Today, we see advanced systems making complex decisions and optimizing processes. But without human oversight, critical errors and unexpected consequences may arise. At present, AI helps us automate tasks, speed up diagnoses, and improve efficiency. Yet, relying on it without limits can weaken our cognitive abilities, reduce human interaction, and increase vulnerability to technical failures or cyber attacks. Privacy and transparency remain current challenges, especially when algorithms make decisions for us and manage sensitive data. Looking ahead, indiscriminate use of AI could lead to the loss of basic skills, widespread unemployment, and a less autonomous society. Algorithmic systems may manipulate decisions and erode personal freedom if ethical and human control is absent. Maintaining balance between technology and human capabilities is vital for AI to be a tool that enhances our growth, not one that makes us dependent or exposed. That's why it's crucial for human oversight to remain at the heart of any technological advance. Supervision, training, and ethical reflection must guide every step. Only then can we ensure that artificial intelligence complements our lives without replacing what makes us unique: creativity, empathy, and critical thinking. Are you curious about how we can achieve this balance? Don't miss the next episode in the series. Subscribe and share this content to help more people reflect on the future of AI.